All right, it's Wednesday, July 10th, 2019, and we're back, and I'm losing my headphones. You know, it's a crazy morning when we lose the headphones. My God. We're back 2 days in a row. It's wrestling review time. It's wrestling talk time. It's that copious time of the morning where we get together and talk about everything that's going on in the wrestling world. We will take your questions, your calls, your hopes, your dreams, your quips, your quotes, your likes, your loves, if there are so any today. I'm not even going to open up Discord yet, just in case, because I don't think anyone's going to show up in there today, and that's all right. Get your coffee, get your breakfast, relax, and let's talk a little bit of wrestling, shall we? And we do got something to talk about today, because unlike Raw, SmackDown was entertaining as hell this week. And I think I kind of want to start with that. Not really just about the quality, but just how the shows felt. Raw this week, and it hasn't been true the last couple of weeks, but Raw this week was slow-paced. It was a drag. It was a drag to watch. It just drug on forever. Those 3 hours felt like 6 hours. It was hard to get through. There was nothing fun. It felt like there was no continuity in any of the stories. There was just nothing there. It was a frivolous 3 hours of television because essentially it was the same show that we got the week before, just stupider. SmackDown decided to go in completely different direction. We got continuation of angles, but we had new information and new things to care about in almost every single angle. Because of the things that SmackDown was able to do, I want to watch Extreme Rules a hell of a lot more. It was the true go-home show. And that is kind of interesting to me because Raw and SmackDown, it's always like they're both go-home shows. But that was clearly not, well, at least that's the thought. They never are actually real go-home shows because we expect a lot out of go-home shows. But this one is interesting because Raw was treated just like a regular basic-ass show. Nothing special about it. It's like it wasn't even an Extreme Rules week. SmackDown was. SmackDown felt like it was a 2-hour walking, talking promotion for Extreme Rules, and it was effective because we got new things, new people, new storylines. And I know we have to start with one thing in particular, probably the thing that nobody was really expecting, and that was the escalation this quickly of Kevin Owens' character development. Kevin Owens has been given the rocket ship of rocket ships, kids. Plain and simple. And Kevin is probably going to be the main topic of this SmackDown. There's a lot to talk about on the show, but the most important thing for me is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, for years now, has been that guy that it feels like if he just would have lost 40 pounds, he'd be the top guy in the company. Vince has always liked him. He fast-tracked him. He's let Kevin Owens get away with things over the years that he hasn't let others get away with. But Kevin in particular has been interesting because there's always for every up, there's always a bigger or more drastic down. And Kevin, being the type of outspoken personality that he is, especially on Twitter, I never thought Kevin was going to last in WWE. After seeing how, just even after the John Cena situation, he gets the win over John Cena, but then they make him tap out. It was just like that was the thing. And then he lost like 3 matches to Cena, and he had to rebuild after that. It's interesting because you would have thought with all the independent explosions, with all the wrestling talk, with all the wrestling federations and everything that are popping up and springing up, and all the competition and all that Kevin would have been at the forefront of wanting to get the fuck out of here. But before all of this even happened, Kevin re-signed. Before all the big momentum against WWE was really starting to sway, Kevin Owens resigned for 5 years. He loves working in WWE, obviously, and doesn't have a problem with a lot of the things that they have him do. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he is a family man. Big-time family man, and his kid absolutely adores WWE. So I think that probably has something to do with it. So maybe Kevin has just decided to make himself happy and keep himself content because he knows he can thrive in this environment. And now he is. I'm going to get back to that in more in a moment. Big shout out to Joshua Hampton, Old School Matt, Super Bears, old school name right there, speaking of old school, and Optimus Wilbur Reviews, my boy Will. What's going on, pal? How you doing, man? How you doing, guys? It's good to see you up in here. We're getting copious. We're jumping right into it. We're talking about SmackDown from last night. We're getting into all the highs, which I think there were a lot of last night. I think SmackDown was a damn good show. One of the best SmackDowns I think we've had in, a long time. Long time, man. It was good, and there's been good SmackDowns over the last year, but I think you put this one up there. It's probably one of the top 5 SmackDowns over the last year, at least. It was a good SmackDown, man. And again, a lot of it has to do with the Kevin Owens thing. So getting back to him, because I do think he's the most important guy arguably right now in the company. Not because of what he's doing now, because of the potential. But let's look at what happened. Kevin Owens basically borrowed from some of the biggest angles in the history of wrestling. He absolutely just, I don't know if this is Bischoff's fingerprints. It felt like Bischoff's fingerprints. Just like the last couple of weeks, you could definitely tell those sticky, butter-filled fingers of fucking Paul Heyman all over Raw. You could definitely, I felt, you could feel just the pacing, the grittiness, the little bit more real atmosphere of SmackDown. I felt we got some Bischoff fingerprints on SmackDown, and no more so than with Kevin Owens. Kevin, all right, so let's look at what happened last night. So you got the situation with Dolph Ziggler before the show. They call it the main event. Shane continues to do what everybody is hating, and that's just be the forefront, continue to make these lopsided moves. The thing that we were told we weren't going to be getting anymore. We were no longer going to be getting this shit from the Authority, and it's all we've gotten out of Shane since, and it's really annoying. Even with that being said, I don't think anyone was expecting anyone, let alone Kevin Owens, to come out and essentially drop a pipe bomb promo. Because that's the first big thing that he borrowed from last night. He borrowed the pipe bomb. He essentially he gave a very, very similar speech to CM Punk's. You know, the infamous pipe bomb speech. I think this one was a little bit more focused, and I like that. I mean, I think part of the reason why CM Punk's is the epic legend that it is because it was kind of all-encompassing. This one, it was obviously more focused, obviously more storyline, but I think is just as effective. I think it was an effective promo. I think the fans ate it up. Look, CM Punk was calling out wrestlers from outside of WWE, which is one thing. Talking about, WWE not giving shots to certain people outside of WWE, that's one thing. But Kevin Owens invoking names of current wrestlers is a bigger deal, at least for us. Look, the reality is all this is storyline. There's absolutely no issues going on. I don't think that there are half the issues going on in WWE that some of the bitter fucks out there are trying to put on. It doesn't make any sense from a logic-filled standpoint. It doesn't make sense for there to be the problems that are being associated with WWE, but all these guys continue to do some of the things that they do. It doesn't make sense. It's illogical, but you know what? This is a very ego-driven industry. Feelings get hurt very easily. You always feel like you deserve a bigger place than what you have. But I think, again, and this ties back into Kevin Owens, this shows that even a guy like Kevin Owens, a dude who's had opportunities, no question, but certainly I think we can agree that Kevin Owens has been misused more than he has been used properly during his time in WWE. He absolutely has. And I think, once again, you can make the argument that if he had just simply lost weight at the beginning of all this, he'd be the top guy in the company right now. But it seems to no longer matter because just like CM Punk, Kevin Owens is an everyman, and that's exactly what they need. They need an everyman. They need a new Stone Cold. They need somebody to vanquish all this bullshit, even if it's just in the short term. However, I don't think it is just in the short term. And again, we go to something else that was clearly lifted from days gone past. The other one was lifted from just 10 years ago or whatever it was with CM Punk. The other one is lifted from the 90s and the Attitude Era. We got a McMahon getting stunned on WWE television. We have not seen that in a while, especially in an actual true blue storyline sense. Kevin doesn't give the best stunners in the world, but still, there's something nostalgic, there's something cool about a McMahon getting a stunner. It's just a neat thing. I don't know if I agree with giving the stunner to Kevin Owens. I know why they gave it to him, and I know why they gave it to him a while back. I think the plan when Kevin came back was to have him face. I don't think they were ever planning on flipping him. I think he was coming back with the pure intention to be a face. That was the intent. And when he came back, they gave the obvious storyline with the New Day where he was going to turn, but they flipped the turn in 2 weeks. They flipped the turn in 2 weeks, which was weird to me. Which was really strange. To flip a turn in 2 weeks after you start a storyline with a guy coming in using a red-hot move, like the stunner, coming back, who fans already fucking love in Kevin Owens, it didn't make sense for the flip, but it does because we know there were injuries. We know there were things with the whole thing in Jeddah. We had everything that was happening that created a need for a heel, and Kevin Owens is so good at flipping between the two. He's not like the Big Show, who's not really good at flipping between the two. He's just a giant, so he does whatever he wants. Kevin does it where he keeps the same personality, but his tone is so different that he could say the same words because he's such a good speaker that he could say the same words, but in a different tone and completely have it phrased differently and have you convinced that he's on the right side, you know? And that's the cool thing about Kevin Owens. It's one of the special qualities that he has. He's going to be the top babyface in the company if this continues forward. There's no way that he can't be. I'm just not sure how far they're going to let this storyline walk. It feels like, again, with Kevin Owens, it's always easy to feel this way, but it feels like it's a short-term storyline. You know, I don't know if they're going to allow Kevin Owens to continue to arrive, leave, raise hell, and leave. I don't know if they're going to want him to do that every week, where he comes in, he stuns a son of a bitch, he drinks a beer. I mean, no drinking beer, he can't do that, he can't have a Steve Weiser, but he can do the other stuff and come in, raise hell, and get the hell out of here, go back to Broken Skull Ranch. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. I think that they could do this going, like, tour. You got to get this fucking Shane McMahon thing out of the way. You got to get out of the way. But this is clear to me that they're getting Roman out of this. Roman will be out of this situation this week. I have to believe that. Roman will be away from Shane after this week. And Kevin should be the last focus of Shane McMahon, and that should take us to SummerSlam. That should be SummerSlam, and hopefully Shane is gone after that, because Shane is the biggest drag on SmackDown and Raw that there is. It's really just awful. Will says, I feel with the Shane McMahon side, I feel that this will end Sunday because it's stale as fuck now. It's been stale for 2 months, but I don't think that they're not going to end it this quickly. Shane's going to have one big fight. Shane's going to have to put over, because you can't just end it. You know, even with an Undertaker situation that we have, unless something really catastrophic happens to Shane, unless he gets dragged to hell by the Lord of Darkness, I just don't see it ending this week because it would be so abrupt. You got to have a blow-off, and I don't think that you bring Kevin Owens in, because Kevin's going to cost him the match. Kevin's going to get involved in that Extreme Rules match. There's no question in my mind about that. He's going to be the next focus, and I think he's going to be the final focus, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If we only have to deal with Shane until SummerSlam, I think I could deal with that as long as this whole situation with Kevin continues to go where it is, where Kevin continues to get the better of Shane. That is what's got to happen. They have the blueprint. I don't know if people are going to let him off, because this is so clearly Attitude Era stuff, especially with with not only the Attitude Era borrowing, but the pipe bomb borrowing from last night. We're going to see how much of a leash fans are going to give this for Kevin Owens. For me, they got my money. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a really good move. It's smart. It gives us someone clearly that we like, that can really talk, can really wrestle, and I think this is going to be good for everybody. I love the names that he dropped last night. I think it was a wake-up call for WWE in some ways. I think that's WWE's way of acknowledging some of the past misuse. Eric loves to do stuff like that. That's why it felt like an Eric Bischoff move to me. Eric loves to be meta and talk about the things. And WWE has for like the last 6 months now, where they just reveal everything. You know, if something leaks somewhere, they put it out on their website. It's first reported by such and such. This guy blew this guy. You know what I mean? They put out everything. They don't care anymore. It's crazy. I typed that before I said SummerSlam, and that makes sense. Plus gives Kofi a heel to contend with if he drops the belt, if Kevin keeps face. Exactly. There's a lot of things that you can do, but you can move people on from the Shane thing. There's rumors that Elias is going to be next up for The Undertaker, even though I've heard more Drew McIntyre. I still don't know. Drew's got to get away from Shane. I really thought Drew should have been the guy that should have been Shane's last opponent. It would have made a little bit more sense to me if he gave him the blow-off at SummerSlam. But I just don't know. Drew's got to get away from Shane. Drew's been hurt by this, and it's really unfortunate. He's got to be the next top heel at this point, because we're once again at that risk of losing Drew McIntyre. It feels like he's just been lost in the sauce completely. Once again, being hooked in with the McMahons. It just doesn't work. He's so good right now. Wasting him in this way is just irritating. I mean, no mid-card title, no main push. He's just a lackey. He's in there with Elias. You know what I mean? He's a lackey. He's just like, he's hanging out with Elias. This is not good for Drew McIntyre in any way, shape, or form. It's quite aggravating. Old school. Why do we need to take her this Sunday? Couldn't they have not announced the partner and just announced Owens right before the match starts? I guess they could, but I mean, look, if The Undertaker wants to wrestle, you're always going to say yes to him. They signed him to a contract, but apparently this is a lot of Undertaker-driven stuff. He's being offered opportunities. He's asking for more opportunities. And Undertaker prints money wherever he goes. That's right, Dave. I print money no matter where I go because I am the Lord of Darkness. And I will make sure that everybody feels the pain and sorrow of the underworld when I take your soul and put it in the hole that I dug. Boy, it's The Undertaker. It's The Undertaker. And the fact is, if Goldberg wouldn't have tried to murder him in Saudi Arabia, then I think people would be a lot more accommodating, a lot more exciting about The Undertaker being back. I have no problem with it. He looks to be in great shape. I think it's a good pairing with him and the big dog, but it's got to go somewhere because Roman is what I'm going to talk about next in just a moment. Let's see. Will, do you feel, though, that wildcard rule is through? It's awful now, and it feels dead. Not even a month using it, I know it's done because the Fox deal, but surely they must see it's not helping. No, but I understand what they're doing. See, there's a reason for the wildcard rule, and I figured it out a couple weeks ago. This is what they're doing. They're trying to inundate all the wrestlers that they can. They want to make sure that all the big stars, that's why the wildcard rule is kind of like up to like 6 or 7 people, because those 6 or 7 people are going to be pushed and inundated, and to make sure, and this sucks for us in the short term, but I understand why they're doing it in the long term, because when they do the network split, when Fox gets SmackDown and USA has Raw, I think we're going to see less crossover, if any at all, which I think is a mistake. I think they should cancel the brand split completely at this point, but this is the last ditch effort to save it. Think about who the champions are at the moment. These are champions. Seth Rollins maybe not as much, but I think he's going to be losing the belts soon, and it's going to be going back into more of a chase scene. But you're going to want the people, especially someone like Kofi Kingston, who, while we love him as champion, Kofi could still walk places and not get noticed. I'm sorry to say that, but it is true. You know, it is true. Just because of the way that he looks. He's kind of tall, skinny guy, doesn't have a wrestler-looking body at all. So you need to get him on TV as much as humanly possible. That's what WWE is thinking. So when the deal happens, he can go into SmackDown and look like he's a big deal. That's what I think is happening, and that's the same thing true for all the top guys. They want to make sure they're as inundated on both these shows for as long as they can, and then hopefully all those eyeballs will translate to whatever brand they end up being on permanently. That's what I think is going to be happening. I do. We'll see. Teddy, wrestling is for gays. Yeah. Shut up, Teddy, asshole. Eric the Champ, Cloud People, you piqued my interest. Hey, keep it in your pants there, Eric the Champ. Come on, don't be an Eric the Chump. I thought that was funny. Fuck it, I don't care. So yeah, a lot happened there, and there's a lot going forward, and I do like where they're going with it, to be honest, for the most part. I forgot where I was talking about before, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, with all those guys, with Shane, with Drew, with Roman, with The Undertaker, they all need to go in different directions. They all need to be separate. They all need to go in different ways. And I thank you very much, Will, for saying Roman, because that's the next thing I want to talk about. I felt when WWE leaned on the cancer stuff the way that they did, I thought there might be a little bit of an issue. I understand why WWE did it. I get it. They saw an opportunity with Roman being booed and not even given a chance anymore in matches. That's how bad the Roman Reigns shit was, just a year ago. There were no chances given. The fans just had enough with it. So when we got this break and WWE decided to lean on it, they were like, hey, asshole fans are never going to boo a cancer man. They didn't think it through, though, because if you're listening, there are some boos, but what's more prevalent than anything? Silence. there's less noise now, boos and cheers. There's less noise for Roman Reigns than ever before. And this was the worry. This was the concern. Because the worst thing that can happen is the fans sit on their hands. That is the worst thing that can happen to a wrestler. Everybody was freaking out for years. Oh my God, Roman's not getting cheered. This is such a big problem. It was never a fucking problem. He was the top in merch sales. He got the biggest reaction of the night, whether it be a boo or a cheer. It doesn't matter. People are making noise for you. That means they give a fuck. It's when they stop. Like Cesaro. After Cesaro gets in the limelight for a little bit, fans stop cheering. Every time the Cesaro's had a push, it's happened. And there's so many other wrestlers that you say the same thing about. But Dolph Ziggler, perfect example. Alberto Del Rio, perfect example of people who, once they got there, the fans stop giving a shit and the reactions go down. When the reactions go down, you lose your fucking space. You lose your spot. Roman didn't lose a spot because the reactions never went down. But now, nobody wants to boo him. You can't boo him because he's cancer. And leukemia could come back at any time. So nobody wants to boo him on the scale that they booed him before. But they don't want to cheer him either. So now, indifference and worrying about how you might look if you boo or cheer this man is causing fans to do what I think they wanted to do a couple years ago. And that's be silent. That's a problem for Roman Reigns. So Roman needs to get away from the McMahons. Roman needs a reboot as well. And here's the good news. I know this sounds like bad news, but it's actually not bad news. It's good news because it's going to allow for creative possibilities. And when you got people in charge of these, like Eric Bischoff, like Paul Heyman, the things that you can do with Roman Reigns is exciting. The things that you can do with Drew McIntyre, it's exciting. So I see possibilities going forward. I really do. Let's see. Will says it all when that horrible 24/7 title gets more of a reaction than Roman. Well, first off, I don't think the 24/7 title's horrible at all. I think the 24/7 title is a brilliant innovation and taking something from the past, and giving it a PG feel or whatever. I want them to do more. I said this yesterday too, Will. I want them to do more with it. I want to see more matches. But entertainment-wise, it's been great. The entertainment factor of the 24/7 title cannot be dismissed. It's been really, really funny. It's been good. I wish there was more to it. I wish there was more wrestling, and I think hopefully there will be. I want to see guys like Drew McIntyre say, fuck it, I want the 24/7 title. I'll take it. Come get it from me. I would love that. I would love that. That would be amazing. Could you imagine if, like, this week, poor little fucking, this would be great. Oh, my God. On Monday, or in a couple Mondays, whatever, little rock star spud there, Drake Maverick, running around with his sexy little wife, and he's taken some lumps on this night. He's gotten some victories, and he starts calling himself the king of 24/7 and all these things. And then someone like Drew McIntyre claymores his face off, takes the 24/7 title, and then stares all those wrestlers running around the arena and says, why don't you come run after me? That's the way to shake it up, man. That's the way to shake that title up. Now, it might cause it to be less fun. You're going to have to get more creative, and that's why people like Dozovich is going to be very important. Guys like R-Truth are going to be very important. I think No Way Jose could have a much more prominent role in 24/7 picture. I wish I was running the 24/7 picture. I really do. I wish I could be given one job, and that's just book the 24/7 title. That's what I wish I could do. That'd be so much fun right now. The possibilities. I want like a monthly list of the wrestlers that I can use. Give me that list, WWE, and every week I will give you requests, people that I would like to have. Just give me some of them. I guarantee you I could book this amazing. I think anybody can. There's so much there. It's a really cool concept, and there's a lot of fun that you can have with it. So I do want to get back to SmackDown a little bit because we did have some more good stuff. Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. Holy God, two guys that I feel have done nothing in the past 6, 7, 8 weeks. Really, it's really depressing. But they had a nice little match here. This is the beginning of a good Intercontinental title feud. Love that Shinsuke won. Love the way that he won. I love the violence of Shinsuke. Shinsuke has got, he's always had one of the best violent acts, I think, of anybody in pro wrestling because he is so violent with his fists. He's so violent. He knows how to throw actual punches. He knows how to pull his punches. He knows how to make punches, kicks, knees all look legit and painful. And now They're fucking focusing on it. They're actually focusing on the strengths of Shinsuke Nakamura for like the first time ever in WWE. NXT, they did it all the time, but not so much on the main roster. Hopefully it's going to continue. Finn Balor's a perfect guy for Shin, for both of these guys to pump up their stock, you know? And I love it. I absolutely love it. Big shout out to the chat here. I see Zanta Claws, Carl G. There was a rumor the WWE wanted to have added air field to the product to attract more team viewers. Yeah, the one thing that there's the big rumor going on right now that WWE is threatened by AEW because of the teenage audience, which I think is the wrong demographic that WWE should be worried about AEW targeting. Because if you're looking at the shows that AEW is putting on, if you're looking at the people who are talking about AEW, it's not teenagers. It's all adults. It's all adults. It's all like 18 and up. It's people my age. AEW seem to have captured the 22 to 40 market really big. The problem is there's only about 100,000 of those motherfuckers who are active wrestling fucking enthusiasts that are going that hard. The market is all kids. And I think the WWE would be wise to try and continue to incorporate the child market, especially going to Fox. But yes, they need to bring the teen market back to the forefront. There's no question. They got to do it. They have to do it, and it looks like they're taking those steps. So I don't have a problem with it at all. So I like what they're doing. I think it's balance. It's balance. And I love that we're getting a little bit more violence on the product. But I don't like the over-violence, the ultra-violence. It's one of the things that puts me off about TNA and AEW. They rely on the ultra-violence. I don't care about the ultra-violence. I don't want to see people get hurt. I like knowing that people are not getting hurt. You know, I like that the suspension of disbelief. I really like that. So yeah, it was a good win there. There was some segments, Bailey and all that type of stuff. We got the Samoa Joe segment, or he talks about Kofi's going to break him, blah 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 blah. The Nikki Cross stuff happened, no big deal there. Kayla Braxton, they had another little Bailey Nikki Cross thing. Let's talk about Nikki for a moment. Nikki's another one who's doing a lot of double duty, just like Alexa Bliss. In fact, really representing Alexa Bliss the last couple of weeks, doing a really good job. I don't think a lot of people expected Nikki Cross to get this type of push or to get this type of attention, but she's doing really well with it. I do wish that we'd see more of the Nikki that we saw in NXT, but I gotta say, she looks a lot more polished now than she did in NXT. Nikki was out of control there with her in-ring ability, and a lot of times you would see it. I'm not seeing that as much. She seems more controlled. Someone got in her ear and told her, hey, slow the fuck down, riddling girl. Let's get you fucking under control here, because you have so much talent and you got a unique look. There's so much that you're doing that we like, and I really would like to continue to go with this, but you got to get better in the ring, and Nikki has certainly done that as of late. So kudos to her. I still don't connect with her talking. Sorry, Will. I don't stand a lot of what she says. She's having to talk so slow. She's having to talk so slow now that it's kind of painful. But still, that's a minor gripe. For considering it's like the secondary women's angle, they're doing a good job with it. I like where it's going. I really do. I like Nikki Cross a lot. So that's a really fun thing. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the Tag Team Women's Championship. I don't understand why create the titles if you're not going to represent the titles. I like the Iconics. I think they have a good act. They're annoying, but they are competent in the ring. At least Peyton Royce is. I don't know about Billie Kay, but I do like Peyton Royce. I think she's the star of that group. I think the Iconics have kind of run their course. They've just been placeholders, and this is part of the problem. You can't have this many champions just be placeholders. You got too many titles for that. You have to find ways to highlight the championships. The Kabuki Warrior thing is fucking terrible. The Kabuki Warrior thing is fucking awful. It is just trash. I hate the name. Think it's stupid. Makes no fucking sense. There's so many better names you can go with if you want to lean on the Japanese culture thing, which I don't think you have to do. But if you're going to put these two together, you got to do something with them. You got to do something with them. You can't keep having Paige be their mouthpiece and then nothing happen. The fact that the Iconics still have it, if the Iconics do not lose that championship in some way at Extreme Rules, there's something wrong. The titles have got to go off of them. They've got to get this championship match booked, and they've got to get the titles off of the albatross that is the Iconics. I think Asuka and Kairi Sane can save this. I think they can do a lot with it. They can be great representatives of the women's tag team division if there actually was a women's tag team division. And that's my other problem. There are no more other women's tag teams. They don't exist. WWE did exactly what I said they were going to do with this tag team division. They were going to create belts just for the sake of creating belts and then create no fucking division. There's no division. It doesn't exist. There's 2 women tag teams. 2. That's not a fucking division. It makes no sense. Get rid of it or push it. You got to push. You can't just have you can't just have the titles just sitting there. It makes no sense. It really drives me crazy. Well, Carl, Scottish is like a second language to your country because her accent is strong. She sounds like she's got a goddamn pool ball in her mouth most of the time. Carl, you got to admit that the match between Nikki and Alexa would be awesome. It should be fun. 1K Sky Pirates would have been so much better. Sure, well, I like that. Butt Pirates too. Good job, 1K. Carl G, the big build up to those women tag team belts, to not use them is pointless. 100%, I agree. Well, they only paired them as they think they were the Sky Warriors when they were paired with Io Shirai. Yep. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Seriously, how many times have those belts been defended? I think like twice. Like once or twice. It just not happened. It was just weird. Just very, very strange. But hey, it's what they want to do. Oh, well. So the other big thing that had people talking was the Tag Team Summit. Which I hate. I hate tag team summits. I hate when you have all the people in the room and get them in there. Fight or don't fight. I hate when they do these type of things. But this one was fun because they got a lot of entertaining people in it. The men's tag team division has really started to turn around. And there's hope that they could do the same thing with the women's tag team division if they so choose. But for me, seeing the tag teams starting to evolve and seeing, more importantly, some of the tag teams that are on the shelf that are going to be coming back, it gives me a little bit of excitement, especially when we're getting to see these tag teams show personality in the summit the way that they did. I like all 3 of the tag teams. I love Daniel Bryan and the Eco Warriors. I think that's really good. The New Day is the New Day, and they got something in Heavy Machinery. Both the Knight and Doze both can work. I like both of them. I think they're fantastic. I really do. I think absolutely wonderful, wonderful tag teams, and I like what they're doing. And come on, touching our golden championship tips was a brilliant. The entendres that Big E has been able to get away with for years is just fantastic, and I love it. What is that? Ajay Cook, are you Bray Wyatt? I am Bray Wyatt, the eater of girls. No, I'm not Bray Wyatt. I know it's easy to get me confused with. No, I'm far better looking. So yeah, I enjoyed everything in that segment. It was entertaining, and we actually got a pretty decent triple threat match out of it. I think when you got the 2 hours of SmackDown compared to the 3 hours of Raw, I think you can kind of get over the commercial situation a little bit better. I didn't really notice the gimmicks or the resets of the match on SmackDown as much as I did on Raw, where they were a real big sticking point because there was nothing else going on. Because there was so much boring shit happening on Raw, that's all you could focus on. Oh my God, another 2 out of 3 falls match. Oh my God, another handicap match. Oh my God, another this match. Oh my God, another elimination match. It was just one thing after another. But on SmackDown, where the 2 hours flew by, didn't really notice it. Didn't really care. So, perspective. It all comes down to perspective. So we got a nice match out of Otis, Daniel Bryan, and Xavier Woods. A lot of fun there. They actually reset that match at one point because of chaos. That was really smart. Have the outside guys get into a confrontation, have the ref throw everybody out, and in that chaos, you have to reset. That's a smart way to do it. You could do that once a show. It's not a big deal. That's a good way to reset. You could have something like that happen. That to give your television show that one big lengthy match, it's a little bit harder to do with Raw because you have that third hour. So even if you have the one big, 15, 16-minute match, it's not going to matter as much because so much more time needs to be eaten up. So it's a little bit of an issue. But still, they're not giving up that third hour, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I'll tell you what does matter. If you guys hit that like button, tweet out, stream, let everybody know that we are back doing wrestling on a daily basis. We will be doing another show tomorrow, but I think it's going to be in the afternoon. So what I want to do with these shows, I want to do Monday and Tuesday, the reviews in the morning, so it's somewhat fresh Raw and SmackDown. And then on Wednesday, we kind of do a full week wrestling show, talk about everything that happened, if there's anything that we missed on Raw and SmackDown, make it a very big viewer call-in heavy show, do it at night, get some drinks, the whole shebang. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, kind of just chill out. And then Sunday, we do our big show, especially when there is a pay-per-view like there is this Sunday. And guess what, kiddos? I'm going to be live reacting that motherfucker right here. Live reaction to the wrestling right here. It's going to be the party that you want to be. It's going to be great. Kaji, apparently Fox wants SmackDown to have a third hour, but could be and hopefully is bullshit. Yeah, that's a Meltzer one. I heard that rumor a while back. I've heard that's not true. I don't know why they would want the third hour. The third hour has performed so poorly for Raw, even in its good years, that it makes no sense. And they would have to offer more equity to WWE to do it. The fact is they paid for the 2 hour thing. They paid for that much ad revenue. If they add another one, they're going to have to renegotiate the contract. So legally, they can't do it anyway. It doesn't make sense. It wouldn't work. At least from what I've heard. Let's see. Will, thought you were going to say you're doing live AEW. Why would I watch a really bad wrestling product? Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm going to watch a wrestling show on Saturday, it's not going to be the AEW show that I can get. Yeah, I understand. It's wonderful. They're doing a charity. It's a wonderful way to make everybody else look bad in the summer in a wrestling hotbed of a territory that they're going to be in. It's a wonderful, beautiful fucking move. I just don't buy it, especially when AEW is doing nothing to impress me in ring. I'm sorry, there are very few matches that I've looked at AEW and was like, oh man, these matches are good. The Dustin Cody match was fine, wasn't all that impressive. I hate 95% of the things that are happening going on with all the gimmick matches and the ultra violence. None of it does anything for me. Yes, 1K, I'm not one of these guys who talks about something that they don't watch. Yes, I've given it a fucking try. It's not for me. It's bitterness. The WWE references are nonstop. I'm sorry, man. I just can't get down with it. I can't fucks with it. Hey, you like Kenny Omega? Go ahead. Enjoy the AEW stuff. But personally, if I'm going to watch anything on Saturday, I'm probably going to watch that fucking, that Evolve show. That Evolve show is going to be fire. I don't give a shit. You can go ahead and talk all that. I know Jericho's going to rip WWE a new asshole on the mic. Guarantee you. They're promoting that Jericho is going to have a live mic. What is Chris Jericho going to say? I can tell you exactly what he's going to say. He is going to shit all over WWE for having that Evolve show on the same day. Kenny Omega already tried to do it on Twitter, and then more than likely the cons told him to shut that shit down. But they can get away with it on this pay-per-view, and they can use it as promotion. But you do it on Twitter, it's a little bit harder. But you do it on a wrestling promotion and get away with it. And that's what they're going to do. I believe it. I do believe it. But the Evolve show looks amazing, so I'd rather watch that, to be honest, because a lot of the guys that I love in NXT are going to be down there, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Should be a great show, so that's going to be great. And then, of course, we have all the fun on Sunday as well. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Zanta Claws, you're going to be doing Twitch today, Dave, and with WWE, do you think a separate adult-like show for violence swearing would do well? Not in 2019. It would do well in critically, but it would do awfully in ratings, in merch, and I think AEW is going to find this out. I just don't think there's a market for it now. Because wrestling is one of those, it's like the circus. You need kids it's a traveling circus. Adults are not going to continue to go see the same shows. They're going to take their kids to the same shows. They're going to do that because that is where the money is. That's what makes sense. That's the audience that you're always going to have to go towards. And if you have a strictly edgy product, if you have strictly a hyper-violence product, in 2019, with all the shit on safety, with all the SJW shit, parents are not going to support it. And once you lose that parent demographic that refuse to support it because it's not right for their kids, it's game fucking over. It's donezo. It's Audi 5000. And it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. It's why WWE has been able to survive. They realized the sign of the times, they saw where the culture was going, and they adjusted properly. It's something they didn't do for years. Up until 1995, WWE didn't really do it. They dictated the market. The rock and wrestling shit in the 80s, all that stuff changing the culture from professional wrestling to sports entertainment, that was all things that WWE was able to dictate because there wasn't a big pushback of a majority of an audience. Now there is, and things are different. Things are changed now. Hey, you know it's always a good thing when we get our old poopy bombs. They're typically an N-word bomb, but I appreciate you going poopy. Thank you. Because you're on the screen. So thank you. I appreciate that. That was really nice of you. It's good to have you. Let's see. Carl, 1K, you get on well with one of our regulars. Bear's opinion is shit, too. No, I won't even say that 1K's opinion is shit. I don't think that's fair. I think that he's a fan of WWE, or of AEW, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Bear's opinions are shit, but I don't know 1K is enough to say his opinions are shit. Old school. I won't rant about AEW here, maybe tomorrow, but not on SmackDown Review. I appreciate that. Relapse, just like I said on Twitter, AEW is going to fail just like WCW. Probably because they're trying to be like WCW. I agree with that. Will, like CZW, it's fucking awful. If I wanted to see one hang with barbed wire, I would go to the dark web. Exactly. Melodati, fight Owens, fight indeed. I'm absolutely loving that. A poopy bomb, is that normal? No, usually it's an N-word bomb. Usually it's an N-word bomb, but they went with the poopy bomb, so that's all right. I'll take a poopy bomb every so often. Josh Rampton, good morning, Dave. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Mellow Dottie, good to see you as well. So, yeah, we've been live. We've been talking for about 40 minutes. If you want, I'll open up the Discord. If you want to jump in, I'll open it up. We'll take some calls. I'm running out of things to tap dance about. SmackDown, I feel overall, was a solid 7.5, maybe 8. SmackDown was really good last night. It was just a very complete show. 2 hours, flowed, no lag, no bullshit. It was just 2 hours of damn good show. Kevin Owens being the highlight of it. Opening and closing a show. That is a good thing. And when you do it in a chaotic fashion, it's even better. Again, they clearly borrowed from two of the biggest storylines that WWE has had, arguably ever. They borrowed the pipe bomb from CM Punk, and they borrowed the stunner on a McMahon from Austin. They took both of these elements and they gave them to Kevin Owens because they have the rocket ship of rocket ships on Kevin Owens' ass right now. For whatever reason, they are definitely going to be going as hard as they can. And to answer your questions, Zanta, I didn't answer earlier. I'm so sorry. Yes, I will be on Twitch. I will be on Twitch probably shortly after I'm done here. Probably in a couple of hours, more than likely. Let's see. Dave, how are you doing this morning? I'm fantastic. I'm here with my Mush Puffs talking about wrestling. I'm a happy guy. Relax. But anyway, I missed SmackDown, so I'm out of the loop. You missed a damn good show. Shinsuke versus Balor, Intercontinental title match. I love where they're going with these two. I like the match that they had last night. I think it's a good way to start that feud, and it's going to go good places. I'm happy with it so far. Don't fuck it up. That's what I'm hoping for. Old School, I don't really have anything to say to call in, so I'll just give it a 7.5. There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's about where I am. 7.5, maybe an 8. It was a damn good show last night. It was a lot of fun, and it was mainly because it just didn't drag. If you can keep the show from dragging, you're going to be just fine. If you have boom, 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 hit your beats, you're going to keep your wrestling audience happy. When you drag the show or you do just same type of shit that you did the week before, like Raw did this week, no, then it's impossible to ignore. Even those with the rosiest colored of glasses can't ignore that nothing happened on Raw. Nothing happened on Raw. It was the exact same show that we got the week before, just dumber. Just a dumber version of it, but exact same show. So I want to hear from you guys. So now give me your guys' opinion. What did you think of SmackDown last night? Give me a rating out of 10. And what was your favorite thing from SmackDown? What was your least favorite thing from SmackDown? I think for me, it's just the continued shitting on the tag team women's division. Oh, I'm sorry, the two teams that are in the tag team women's division. Stupid. It's stupid. And I like the Iconics. I do. I like the Iconics. I just hate the fact that they're not doing anything. You can't not do anything. It doesn't work. So, biggest takeaways of the night, Kevin Owens, rocket ship face. getting to use the stunner on a McMahon, getting to basically borrow the pipe bomb from CM Punk. Huge face type storylines. Gonna go forward, gonna be fantastic. We'll see how it goes. Roman Reigns, scary trend of hearing less and less noise. No, they don't want to boo him anymore because you can't boo the Cancer Man, but they don't want to cheer him because Roman Reigns simply is not connected with the fans in the way that people think they have. People loved booing Roman Reigns. They enjoyed it. It was fun. It means that they cared about him enough to make noise. But now WWE has pushed the cancer thing. And it's a real thing. And it's an important thing. And it can come back at any time. The problem is now you've made all these asshole wrestling fans not want to boo him because you can't boo a Cancer Man. And to make it even worse, they don't want to cheer him. So now they're just being quiet. And that's a dangerous fucking trend. Silence kills careers, and I think Roman might be in trouble. You keep him around the McMahons, you keep him around Brock Lesnar. You can't keep keeping him around these albatrosses. Fans are not going to cheer Roman just because he's against someone they don't like, because it's a different type of heat. It's a heat of indifference, and that's the problem. That's the issue. It's a very scary trend with just less noise around Roman. It's not good. Do you think a heel turn can help? Yeah, absolutely. Any type of change can help. Give the man a new fucking t-shirt, for fuck's sake. Anything. A new vest. Take off the vest. Give him new boots, new gloves. Cut his hair. Change his beard. Do something different. Hell, even John Cena had different colored fucking shirts. All we get is the same Roman Reigns every single week. A change needs to happen. A change needs to happen. He's just, it's not a Cena thing. Cena had a bigger connection with fans than anyone will ever give him credit for. And it was genuine. All the heat, the Cena wins we riot, all that stuff, it was genuine. This is a facsimile. This is a copy of that. And the copies of that simply don't work. You could call Cena a copy of Hogan, but as much as the careers parallel, there's a distinct difference between the type of person, the type of character that they were. Different types of motivation tactics, different types of athleticism even. So it's not really a fair thing to put in, but I understand where it gets from. Then this is different. This just feels like, well, we created one Cena. We can create another one by doing a lot of mismanaging stuff and pissing off people so much. This is what they're going to want to say, goddammit. And it worked. Roman was getting legitimate reactions. Whether or not they were boos, it's irrelevant to me, because noise is life. Noise is lifeblood. If people aren't talking about you on air, they're probably not talking about you at all. And you need that in the wrestling industry. You need that in the entertainment industry. You got to have it, and it's simply not there. So, I don't know. Will. Kevin Owens, so I give it an over-the-top rope to laugh at Raw. There you go. Let's see here. Relapse. If you want me to be honest, WWE got lucky when they split the Shield and it worked, but they were still pushing Roman Reigns more, and everyone is tired of it now, in my opinion. Well, yeah, but that's how he got the heat in the first place. That heat was never going to slow down. He was going to continue to get booed. But he got cancer, and WWE pushed it. They pushed the cancer angle. And when you do that, when you make it so that Roman Reigns has one of the top ESPY moments of the year. Roman Reigns is winning the ESPY for best wrestling moment of the year. His comeback was the best wrestling moment of the year. He's going to win it. He's absolutely going to win it. There's no question in my mind about that. And that's what WWE was hoping for. The problem is now you have Cancer Man. And the fans aren't going to give him the same reaction. So you've taken out noise from the equation. You've eliminated a possibility. And when you eliminate a possibility, if the guy can't stand on his own, you're fucked. You're fucked. Joshua Hampton, Kevin Owens doing the CM Punk thing. He did. He took the pipe bomb, and he also took he's also doing the Stone Cold act, which is all CM Punk's act was. It was just an everyman upset with authority. It's the exact same angle. It's no different. It's just different in the execution. The personality was slightly different. Just like with Kevin Owens. He's a different embodiment of CM Punk. He's a different embodiment of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, yeah. Teddy, so you think booing is actually better than straight up silence? Yes, moron. It's pro wrestling. Abso-fucking-lutely. Silence is the killer Think about this. Pro wrestling is just a circus. It's just a traveling circus. It's the last traveling circus. I don't know if you guys know this, but all the circuses are gone. They don't travel anymore. Barnum and Bailey, gone. Ringling Brothers, gone. They don't travel anymore. The circus is dead. There's one left, and it's WWE. Think about this. If you take your big fucking lion and you put him in the third ring, the center ring, the big ring, and you want everybody at the circus to focus on that lion, and that lion roars and sends a rustle of audio excellence through the crowd, blowing back hairs, making children wince in fear and excitement. But when the lion stops roaring, if the crowd doesn't cheer, that lion's getting shot and turned into a fucking wig factory. That's what's happening. They're going to shave all that fucking mane off, and it's going to end up on Cardi B's fucking weave. That's what's going to happen. They're going to kill that fucking lion if you can't get people to goddamn cheer. And that's the reality of it. So, I don't know. Old school. Personally, Kevin nailed the Stone Cold stick better than CM Punk did. I agree. I like Kevin Owens. I can't stand CM Punk. I never liked him as a person. Ever. Never liked him. Ever as a person. I love Kevin Owens. I love everything about Kevin Owens. Mainly because we look alike. Let's be honest. There's a little bit of a similarity here. Just a tiny bit. So, I don't know. Teddy, I ended the boo question with boo, which scientifically qualifies it as a joke. Checkmate. No, Teddy, because you're half a fucking frittata, and I don't know if you're capable of telling a joke. Boom roasted. All right, on that nice boom roasted, I think we're about done. I think we've hit about all the things that we do. If you guys have a quick question that you want me to answer in the chat, feel free to throw it in there, and I'll get rid of it before I go. Old school. So Vince is going to shoot Roman and sell his hair to Cardi B. Very possible. Very possibly. Heard it here first, folks. Heard it here first, folks. On that note, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you. Make sure you tweet it out. Let everybody know that we're back to everyday wrestling content right here on YouTube. We're going to keep it going, and we appreciate the support. We're going to be over on Twitch in a little bit, so make sure you're there with me on Twitch. Someone go ahead and throw that link in the chat. I would greatly appreciate you if you come over there and hit the follow button, because we're 11 away from 2,000 followers on Twitch. It's absolutely incredible. We got almost 60 subscribers. We got a wonderful Minecraft server going on, well, Minecraft realm going on. So much cool stuff. So get there, man. It's absolutely great. PK, wait a second. I have a question. How many chins do you have? Unfortunately, far too many at the moment. Working on that, PK. Thank you very much. PK, I got a question for you. How much fucking pussy have you seen in your life? Yeah, checkmate, bitch. Thank you guys very much. Have yourself a fantastic... I'm getting demonetized now. Shit, I may have avoided it till then, but now I'm done. Thank you guys, and I will talk to you a little bit later. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Keep it copious, folks. Remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Like Fake Ass Twat, who did this wonderful frame and the thumbnail, and Dueling Duels Drew, who did this outro. See you guys later. Peace.